And pitching for the Chiefs, number 10 from Auckland, New Zealand, Daniel Chapman. And now the managers for the home team, New York Gremlins. From Ashland, Ohio, Nick McCurd. From Bakersfield, California, Greg Hicks. And from Staten Island, New York, Greg Leather. And now the players. From Montvale, New Jersey, Baram Matosian. Number 77, from Tirana, Argentina, Pablo Migliavaca. Number 23, from Canberra, Australia, Andrew Kirkpatrick. From Sonora, Mexico, number 17, Sammy Villalbazo. Number 89, from Auckland, New Zealand, Ben Inoka. From Parna, Argentina, number 66, Gonzalo Masmu. From Wellington, New Zealand, number 29, Wei Lalu. Also from Wellington, number 2, Tane Mumu. And now the starting lineup for the Gremlins. Leading off playing left field, number 16. From Quebec, Canada, Matu Wah. At third base from Wellington, New Zealand, number 6, Jerome Raymacki. From Mexicali, number 8, the first baseman, Eric Ochoa. In right field, number 53, batting fourth from Brisbane, Australia, Zenon Winters. From Auckland, New Zealand, the shortstop, number 34, Cole Evans. In center field, batting sixth, number 33, from Vancouver, British Columbia, Brian Aubrey. Designated player, also from Vancouver, number 12, Blake Hunter. From Parna, Argentina, second base, number 24, Ladislo Molarchek. Catching from Tampa Bay, Florida, number 3, Nick Mullins. And pitching from Orange, Australia, number 57, Jack Bestro. And now please stand and honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Hello and welcome to the Boys of Summer Tournament here in Denmark, Wisconsin. You're watching the Gremlins Network. I'm Jim Flanagan, happy to have you with us from wherever you may be. Hope you're enjoying all the action we've had on the air for you thus far in the weekend. Two Giants squaring off in this one Giants for the past decade in men's fastball. No strangers to championships games are they. The home team will be the New York Gremlins. They are once again undefeated. Dropped their opening game a couple of weeks ago up in Simcoe, Ontario, and then went on a 15-game run. They went on to win the Chiefs Challenge in Ontario. Followed that up with a New York Peligro win, and they're unbeaten here in the Boys of Summer. Just about ready to get underway, so let's run through the lineups for you. Setting the Gremlins defensively. Around the infield, Jerome Remaki will be at third, Cole Evans at short, Ladislao Malarchuk at second base, and Eric Ochoa over at first base. In the outfield, left to right, Matthew Waugh in left, Brian Abry will be in center, and Zenon Winters once again in right field. Behind the plate, Nick Mullins, the veteran USA catcher. He'll be the receiver for the starter in this one, young 19-year-old Jack Besgrove. And we see him lean back and throw the first pitch of this championship game. For Hill United, their batting order looks like this. Brad Ezekiel will lead off. Shane Boland will bat second. Nicky Shales will hit third. Bruno Matroni batting in the cleanup spot. Josh McGovern will hit fifth. Tony Gonzalez sixth. Alan Pecker seventh. Scott Patterson eighth. And Pepilo Lopez will bat in the ninth spot. A little bit of an early start scheduled for 1:30 p.m. Central Time. I think we're just coming up on 1:15 or thereabouts, but an early start. The teams were ready to go, and so are we. So Ezekiel retired for the first out. Shane Boland will step in. Most of these players on these two teams, members of their respective national teams. For the Gremlins, they've got 5 from New Zealand, 3 from Canada, 3 from Argentina and Australia, 2 from the USA, and 1 from Team Mexico. That being Sammy Villalvaso, in case you were wondering. And likewise on the other side of the field, lots of national team players. Ezekiel, of course, for Canada, Boland likewise. Nicky Shales for Australia for many years. Looks like he's hit by a pitch on the first one. Not happy about it. We're broadcasting this one from center field, sitting in the cheap seats. Hope you don't mind. Great view of the backs of the players. Great view of the numbers. Not much else. So there you see the replay again. Came inside on Boland and hit him. So the first base runner for Hill United. These two teams squared off a couple of weeks ago up in the Chiefs Challenge in Simcoe, Ontario. Gremlins came away 8-4 winners in that one, but it was a whale of a game. Nicky Shales hit a 2-run homer to put his team on top 4-3 at one point late. 5th inning, I believe. Gremlins battled back to tie it at 4. And then the big blast of the game, Blake Hunter, grand slam home run off of Adam Folkert to give the Gremlins the win. But you can toss all the stats. There's plenty of good ones on both sides, pitching and batting, but it's an whole new ball game here. One game, winner take this one. Besgrove, we mentioned a couple of gold medals in his pocket. Recent wins for Australia in both the men's senior and the U23, 23 and under. Rise ball down on strikes goes Shales. So with 2 out and Boland still over at second base, it'll be Bruno Matroni. Matroni, longtime catcher for the Argentine national team. One of the best backstops in the game. Good hitter as well. Plenty of power. The reason he's hitting in the cleanup spot today. That one's lifted foul and out of play. We're at John Miller Park here at Circle Tap, the main diamond. We've heard about it for years. I finally made a trip out here and very impressed with what I see. They will be hosting the ISC World Tournament in just about a month from now. Besgrove in for a strike on that one, so 0-1 on Bruno Matroni. 0-2. Wait for the scoreboard to catch up. What you hear about Besgrove is that his pitches move a great deal, and often late, so the hitters don't really have time to react. Just a difficult pitcher to pick up pitches on. Coming into this tournament, Bestgrove with the most innings pitched for this Gremlin team. He had 31. Andrew Kirkpatrick, the other main ace, with 29. Swing and a miss on that one, and down on strikes goes Matroni. Great rise ball from the young left-hander. For Hill United in the first, no runs, I would say no hits, but Bolin was hit. We'll head to the home half of the first inning and be back with more great action from the Boys of Summer Tournament in Denmark, Wisconsin. Home half of the first inning in this championship game here in Denmark, Wisconsin at the Boys of Summer Tournament. Hill United and the New York Gremlins squaring off. Hill United did not score in the top of the first. If you joined us late, you haven't missed much. Setting them defensively for you around the infield, it'll be Nicky Shales at third, Shane Bolin at short, Tony Gonzalez from Team Mexico over at second base, and Pepilio Lopez at first. In the outfield, left to right, Scott Patterson in left. Brad Ezekiel will be in center. And Alan Pecker over in right. Bruno Matroni, as we said, doing the catching. And Daniel Chapman, young right-hand pitcher, will do the pitching for the Hill United Chiefs. The batting order for the Gremlins you see on your screen. Matthew Waugh will lead it off. He'll play left field. Jerome Rimaki at third base, batting second. Eric Ochoa batting third and playing at first base. Zenon Winters in the cleanup spot, playing in right field. Batting fifth, Cole Evans at short. Brian Avery hitting sixth in center. Blake Hunter batting seventh. And Ladislao Malarchuk eight, with Nick Mullins bringing it up at the 9 spot. That's the way the Gremlins will look. Very much the same lineup we've seen through much of the 15-game win streak. But they've got some youngsters and some other veterans on the bench that have had a good number of at-bats. So look for both skippers to use the entire roster in this game. No reason to save anybody. This is winner-take-all championship game, just about ready to go as Matthew Waugh steps in. Waugh, great speed, of course, but great power as well. A couple of homers on the season already. He had a big one last Sunday in the championship game at the Copa Peligro. At the time, his squad was down 2-0. They gave up 2 runs in the first. Matthew Waugh came right back and launched one on a line shot over the right field wall to pick his team up. In the end result, they came back and won that game 10-2. Waugh from the Quebec area in Canada, member of Canada's national team for a good while. Chapman's pitch off the plate. Batting order again, it's Waugh leading off, Jerome Rimaki and Eric Ochoa, the first 3 hitters that Chapman will face. Zenon Winters waiting in the wings if we get that far. Right down the heart of Main Street with that one. Defense for the Hill United, pretty much straight away. Ezekiel shaded a little bit towards left field. A little better view of home plate, not having to look over the shoulder of Chapman. And the left-hander Matthew Waugh up. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Matthew Waugh. So Chapman off to a good start here against the Gremlins. During the 15-game win streak, New York has not had to play from behind much, although last Sunday in the semi and the championship game, they fell behind 2-0 in both, coming back to win both 10-2. Today, it was the AW Reapers scoring first in their semifinal matchup, but the Gremlins managing to rally and put some runs on the board for the win. Ball upstairs sails to the screen. Remaki on a 3-run homer tear. He had 2 last Sunday, one in the semi, one in the championship game, and another one today to cap off a run rule victory against the Reapers in their quarterfinal game. So Jerome putting up some big RBI numbers. He is among the leaders in most of the offensive categories, up among a pretty large group. You don't get to 15 wins in a row without everybody contributing, and that the Gremlins have done. Little foul out of play over on the left side. Gremlins in the first base dugout, their white on white uniforms. The Chiefs with their blue pinstripes and white pants over on the third base side. Chapman you see there in the circle, tall, lanky right-hander. That one's lifted out into left field, going back and looking up, and not enough room to get to that one. Home run for Remaki. He's got another. Looked like the pitch might have been up in the zone. Left fielder Scott Patterson went back to the fence, but with those 20-foot-high fences, not much you can do. Not too many balls being brought back in. So the Gremlins strike first. Remaki with a solo homer. There you see it on the replay. Just got it up. And the ball will carry here at John Miller Park. Here's Eric Ochoa. Ochoa typically throughout most of the games this year has been hitting cleanup, with Inoka batting third in front of him. Benny leaving this morning's quarterfinal game with an injury, and he'll sit this one out. Skipper Greg Leather just moving everybody up a bit. Ochoa to the 3 spot, and then Zenon Winters on deck in the cleanup role. Foul tip back to the screen. Eric with his roots in the Mexicali, Mexico area, plays in San Diego. Longtime member of the USA men's national team. One of the leaders on that team, along with Nick Mullins, the catcher here. Rise ball in, so 1-2 on Ochoa. First inning action here. Gremlins on top, 1-0. Little slow roller out to second base. It'll be Tony Gonzalez flipping over to Lopez for the out. 2 outs in the inning. And that'll bring up Zenon Winters to the plate. Zenon from Brisbane, Australia. Longtime member of the Australian national team. Retired since, but certainly not retired when it comes to the Gremlins. He has been one of the hottest hitters for this squad through the first 16 games of the season. That one lifted high in the infield. Let's see who takes it. Calling off the others. Number 27, Nikki Shales. So Winters retired on the pop-up to third. Side retired, but not before the Gremlins strike for a run. A solo shot by Jerome Remaki over the left field wall. We'll head to the top half of the second inning. The score, New York Gremlins 1, Hill United, nothing. We'll be back with more great action from the Boys of Summer Tournament in Denmark, Wisconsin. Top half of the second inning here at the championship game, Boys of Summer. Hill United did not score in the first inning, had one runner aboard. The hit batter was Bolin. For things here in the second, it'll be Josh McGovern, Tony Gonzalez, and Alan Pecker. Scott Patterson, if we get that far. McGovern from Australia. Bats from the right side, as you can see, against the lefty from Australia, Jack Besgrove. Besgrove came into the weekend with 31 innings pitched and almost 2 strikeouts per inning from the young left-hander. Talk about helping yourself out. So McGovern, Gonzalez, and Pecker here in the second for Hill United. So one from Australia, one from Mexico, and one from Argentina. The international flavor of both of these tournament teams in the tournament, very apparent. And you look at the lineup cards. In for a called strike. The Gremlins have 4 pitchers on their staff. Jack Besgrove, the young lefty. Andrew Kirkpatrick, the senior lefty. Pablo Migliavaca joining the club this year. And Sammy Vilvaso, the 4th pitcher on the team. Strikeout sends McGovern back to the dugout, so 3 consecutive strikeouts, 3 in the game for Besgrove as he settles in. Bringing up Tony Gonzalez, the second baseman for these Hill United Chiefs. Fouled up and out of play. Hard grounder over to Remaki. He makes quick work of it over to Ochoa on the 5-3 put out. So 2 up and down quickly. So with 2 out, it'll be Alan Pecker coming up. Alan from Argentina. We've talked about the pipelines of talent. A couple of decades ago, it seemed to be all from Australia, New Zealand, down under. And then along came Argentina, sending a wave of talented players here. Of late, we're starting to see more from Europe. Czech Republic, notable among those. Some of their players here in this tournament. So no shortage of talent around the world as these top teams continue to build their rosters, try and come up with the very best team they can. These 2, the end result of that process. Going into this tournament with the 31 innings, 56 strikeouts for young Jack Besgrove. He surrendered 9 runs throughout those 31 innings, but only 3 of those were earned. So a microscopic ERA for the young left-hander. There's a ball off the plate. So the count runs full on Alan Pecker. Scott Patterson will be next if Alan Pecker can extend the inning. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes he goes. Second strikeout in the inning, 4-2 for the young left-hander Jack Besgrove as he continues to dazzle. We'll head to the home half of the second inning and be back with more great action. The championship game here at the Boys of Summer 2023. Home half of the second inning for the New York Gremlins. It'll be 5, 6, and 7. Cole Evans, Brian Avery, and Blake Hunter, who is the DP in this one. Daniel Chapman, the young right-hander, the starter for Hill United Chiefs, and Jack Besgrove, the 19-year-old lefty from Australia for the Gremlins. Cole Evans with a 2-run homer in the Gremlins semifinal win that put them into this one. Among the home run leaders for the Gremlins in 2023, Benny Noka at the top of the heap right now. Sidelined with that injury we mentioned. Does not appear to be too serious. He swung at a pitch and fouled it off his knee. Went down pretty hard. So a little tender, and with next week off, I think they're just going to rest him. Little ground ball down to third, up with it. And across the diamond for the putout. Shales to Lopez on that play. Here you see the replay on it. Shales coming on across the foul line, making a great play on that. So Evans retired. And Brian Avery will be the hitter. Avery lines it, but right at Shales. He grabs it, and then around the infield we go. So tough luck hitting for Brian Avery. Watch the replay. You might not even pick up the ball. A laser shot. Shales, the veteran over there, just puts his glove out and squeezes it for the out. Here's Blake Hunter. Hunter among the leaders in the OPS stat category, that being the combination of on-base percentage and slugging percentage. Some think it's a better measuring stick than just a batting average. So Hunter very much a run producer and on base. He is, I think, first in walks on the team. And nobody's going to forget that grand slam home run that he hit against the Chiefs up in Simcoe 2 weeks ago to win that Chiefs Challenge tournament. Chapman and Besgrove, great fundamentals, good chance for young pitchers to watch and learn. Great body mechanics, the set back, then the weight coming forward. Off the plate outside, so 3-1 the count on Blake Hunter. Ladislav Malarchuk will be next if Hunter can extend the inning. Swing and a miss, down he goes on strikes. Second strikeout of the game for Daniel Chapman. 3 up and down for the Gremlins, no hits, no runs, nobody left. We've played to complete, no score, or excuse me, 1-0 Gremlins. We'll head to the third. Top of the third inning we go for Hill United. They'll send up their 8, 9, and 1 hitters. That's Scott Patterson, Pepilio Lopez, and then back to the top of the order for Brad Ezekiel. First time through the order against the young lefty. In the prior matchup between these two teams, Andrew Kirkpatrick had started. Pablo Migliavaca came on in relief, pitched very well down the stretch. So Hill getting a look at young Jack Besgrove this time around. In for a called strike. Besgrove, you see with the delivery, a little bit even more deliberate than Chapman with that lean back. The weight goes back and then comes forward in a big way. Corners again for the Gremlins. Remaki at third, Ochoa over at first. Just about even with the bag. Ochoa maybe a step or so in front. Now back even. Right down heart of Main Street, leaves Scott Patterson looking for the strikeout. Strikeout number 5 through 3 this far. Pepilio Lopez will be the batter for Hill United. Lopez, you see, standing in from the left side against the lefty. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Little grounder out of play, retrieved by Mullins. Beautiful day here in Denmark, Wisconsin. Sunny skies, big clouds above us. They've been there all weekend long. Cotton candy sky. Lopez down on strikes, swinging. 2 in the inning. 6 on the day so far for young Jack Besgrove. There you see it on the replay. Just a little bit late on that one. Here's Brad Ezekiel, one of Canada's top hitters. Like the Gremlins with Ezekiel, great power in that leadoff spot. Both of these teams with a fair number of home run hitters that can get you back in a game, even if you're down 3 or 4. That one sails high for the ball. On deck, if Ezekiel can reach, is Shane Bolin. There you see a nice shot of the young lefty. Way inside, and he walks Ezekiel. So that breaks the string of 7 consecutive batters set down by Jack Besgrove. Last player to reach before Ezekiel was Shane Bolin, hit by a pitch first time up. That one down in the dirt, so 1-1 to Shane Bolin. Stayed up high as he came inside on Bolin. Looked like he might have just lost his grip on that one. Kind of a drop that he never finished, kind of hopped out of the hand. Foul to the screen. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Shane Bolin. 3rd inning action at the Boys of Summer Championship game. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Shane Bolin. 3 strikeouts in the inning. 7 through 3, so Besgrove is even better than the 2 strikeouts per inning average thus far in this one. Home half of the 3rd. We'll be back with more great action here from Boys of Summer. You're listening to the Gremlins Network. I'm Jim Flanagan. Stick around. We'll have all of this one and right on down the home stretch. Home half of the 3rd for the Gremlins. It'll be 8-9-1. That means Ladislaw Malarchuk, followed by Nick Mullins, and then back to the top of the order to Matthew Waugh. Ladislaw yesterday with a homer, so he joined the home run club. Nick Mullins waiting on deck, hit one today, so likewise he joined the club, and I think that means from top to bottom, 1 through 9 in the order, everybody with a home run. Malarchuk not known necessarily for hitting home runs. Good contact hitter. He'll work the gaps, but yesterday got one right where he wanted it. Turned on it, and the result, a home run. Ladislaw, member of the Argentine national team, came up in the group with Wemo Mata and Pablo Miglavaca, who was here with the Gremlins. Miglavaca actually pitched for these Hill United Chiefs for several years. Made the move over to the Gremlins this year. And as we said, pitched very effectively against them first time around up in Simcoe. Great changeup has Pablo. Chapman right now still working to Malarchuk. Ball low. Shales and Lopez on the corners for the Chiefs. In for a called strike right at the letters. Ladislaw starting to head down to first base. Thought he had the walk. Rise ball. That one stays upstairs, and he does indeed have the walk. He'll head down to first base. Second Gremlin to reach base today. The other was the Rimaki, and he reached all four with that first inning home run. Nick Mullins stands in. As we mentioned, a home run in the semifinal game. 3-run shot turned a 5-0 game into an 5-1 game into an 8-1 game against the AWP Reapers. Reapers came into the tournament number 8 in the rankings, so finished very high, making it to the semifinals. Good club. These two teams, numbers 1 and 4 in the rankings respectively, but tomorrow the new rankings come out, the ones that will seed the ISC World Tournament. And I imagine many of the voters will be watching this one to the end. Preseason rankings had the Gremlins at 1, the Niagara Stompers, who are loaded with many of the ISC World Champions from last year's Kitchener team, at number 2. Bear Creek Express 3 and Hill United 4. JB Painting at 5, the California team. But on a given day, on a given Sunday, you can toss all the names in the hat. We would tell you what's going on. They're having some kind of a conversation, but we're a long look away, 270 feet or so away from home plate in the center field area. Couldn't get it into the ballpark, Luciano? Here's Chapman's pitch to Mullen. In for a called strike. There you get a look at the field from above the drone. Thank you, Luciano Lofrano. Swing and a miss by Mullins. He's down on strikes. Second strikeout for Daniel Chapman as we head to the back to the top of the order. Excuse me, third strikeout. Matthew Waugh, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Foul out of play over on the left side. Little bit of a breeze blowing through our broadcast booth out here in center field. Just a big pop-up tent keeping us out of the sun. Can't quite tell which way it's blowing. We'll look for some flags at some point. Not blowing especially hard, but noticeable enough the ball's going to be affected by it. Right at the knees is Chapman. Great location by the young right-hander. That one stays upstairs. Well, I can tell you it's blowing from home out towards the outfield fence as they just blew over our defensive boards. We use our little cheat sheets to keep track of who's playing where. They were sticking out of the picnic table and blew over. So carrying to center field. That one's shallow, though. Ezekiel will come on and make the catch easily for out number 2. That'll bring Jerome Remaki, who was responsible for the one run in the game, that home run. Launching one over the left field wall, going the other way with it was Jerome. So 2 outs in the inning. Ladislao still over at first base. Ladislao looking across the diamond at the skipper, Greg Leather. Ezekiel in center, shaded just a little bit towards left field. That one's way upstairs for a ball. Hard grounder into right field, base hit. Ladislao rounding second, on his way to third. Slides in safely. Good throw coming in from right field by Alan Picare, but Ladislao making his way, comes up safely. So Remaki with a couple of hits in the game, puts runners at the corners, and that'll bring up number 8, Eric Ochoa. Remaki using all of the field, went to left field on the homer, now pulling the ball to right field. Ochoa trying to get home a second run for the Gremlins. Ladislao Malarchik just 60 feet away. Way upstairs. Ochoa, like Remaki, will use all of the field, perhaps even more so. Likes to go the other way with it. Stays back on the ball well. Likes that 5.5 hole between short and third. Little changeup stays upstairs. And good power has Ochoa, a couple 3 home runs already in this young 2023 season. That one's downstairs. Ball, and that one goes to the screen. Down to second goes Remaki. Down to first goes Ochoa on the walk. So Eric being selective up there, puts runners on every base for the Gremlins. Ochoa at first, Remaki at second, and Ladislao still over at third base. It'll be up to Zenon Winters to try and cash them in. Winters came into the weekend with a sizzling .448 batting average. Picked up the most valuable player trophy last week at the Peligro Cup in New York City. By definition, I think right man, right spot if you're a Gremlin fan. Quick hello to Patricia Manley. Know you're watching this one. Breaking the action, we'll send a quick thank you out to the Gremlins sponsor, Bruce Tansky. All the great things he does to support the Gremlins program. Going to have to expand that trophy case, I think. Gremlins already carrying 2 around from the first 2 weekends, trying to get one here, but Hill United certainly giving them everything they can handle. Ball off the plate. Just a last note on that game that was played between these two in Simcoe. It was Zenon Winters with a big hit in that one. Hit a hard smash back to the pitcher, Michael Holobratic, the fine young Czech Republic pitcher, got hit on the hand, had to leave the game. In for a called strike. Adam Folkert came on in relief, but one of those situations where probably didn't get enough chance to really warm up, and next thing you know, Hunter's got the grand slam and the victory for the Gremlins. So Zenon Winters playing a big role in that first tournament win. Stays up high for a ball. Zenon Winters draws the RBI walk. That's 2 walks in a row. Everybody moving up. Ladislao Malarchuk coming in with run number 2. Ochoa over to third. Excuse me, second. And Ramaki at third. Ochoa at second. Cole Evans will be the batter. We see a pitcher down on the sideline for the Chiefs warming up. Try and pick up his number and see who that might be. At the plate, Cole Evans, one of the home run leaders on this Gremlin squad. High to center field, deep, ranging over is Ezekiel, but it's Piquer to take the ball and make the catch. So Chapman pitches out of trouble. Gremlins get a run, but not more. They strand 3. Through 3, we played Gremlins 2 and Hill United Chiefs nothing. Top half of the 4th inning for Hill United. They'll send up 6, 7, 8. Strike that 3, 4, 5. Shales, Matroni, and Josh McGovern. 2-0 Gremlins in this one. Want to send out a quick hello to Carol Ann Chabot, watching back at home, a sister of one of our compatriots out here in the cheap seats in the outfield. Glad you're enjoying the action. Hope you can stay tuned to the end of this one. It'll be a good one. Shales a strikeout victim his first time up. It was Shales with a 2-run shot in their prior matchup that gave his team a 4-3 lead in that Chiefs Challenge game. So Nick very capable of reaching these fences. Takes a healthy cut there. We mentioned a Hill United pitcher warming up on the sidelines. It was Michael Holobratic, the aforementioned pitcher from the Czech Republic. We talked about pipelines from New Zealand and Australia, and later Argentina. Now starting to see it flow from Europe. And Holobratic, one of the fine young stars to come out of that circuit. Down on strikes goes Shales, second time today. Strikeout number 8 for Jack Besgrove. And it will bring up Bruno Matroni. We saw Holobratic in Prague in 2019 in that WBFC Men's World. Helped pitch his Czech Republic team into the playoff round. First time they managed that feat. Marek Mali with a walk-off home run against Cuba. I had the fortune to be sitting in the booth and calling that game. Swing and a miss. Down goes Matroni. So thus far, Hill United having a little difficulty figuring out young Jack Besgrove. Josh McGovern at the plate. Always tough for the hitters when you see a pitcher that you haven't been facing and different stuff, different delivery. Some of the veterans will tell you at some point they feel like the hitters have seen too much of them. Right now, Jack Besgrove is the new kid on the block. Pitching very well in this one, 9 strikeouts, has 3 strikeouts in a row now after the walk to Ezekiel. That one in for a call. Strike, good movement, good elevation on that pitch. Very relaxed throwing the ball is Besgrove, but I guess it's easy to be relaxed when you're pitching as well as he is. McGovern, a strikeout victim his first time up. There's a one-hopper over to Ramaki. Ramaki to Ochoa, side retired. 3 up and down, no runs, no hits, nobody left for Hill United through their 4th inning. To the home half of the 5th we go. If you're a Gremlins fan looking ahead, it'll be 6, 7, 8. Abry, Hunter, and Malarchuk. We'll be right back with more great action here at the Boys of Summer Tournament, Denmark, Wisconsin. Home half of the 4th, Brian Abry will step in. Abry, a line. That one in at the knees, so the count on Abry, 1-1. That one off the plate just a little bit, so 2-1 now on Abry. Swing and a miss, comes up empty on that one. Ezekiel in center, shaded, as we've said, just a little bit towards left field, so he's got that little window to look through between pitcher Chapman and the shortstop Shane Bolin. Same view we have. He's just a bit closer than we. 3-2 count now on Avery. Fouled out of play over on the right side. The Gremlins one base runner in the first. That's the home run from Remaki. Went in order in the second. And then with a hit and a couple of walks, three walks, managed another run. That one's lifted out into the outfield, and in the gap, it's going to go all the way to the fence, off the wall. Pecker picks it up and throws to second. That'll keep Avery at first with a long single. Ezekiel and Pecker over to cut that one off right at the fence. So Avery has hit the ball hard twice today. That one right up off the fence. And we'll give Blake Hunter a chance to move him over. Hunter, a strikeout victim, his first trip to the plate against Chapman. Swing and a miss. Avery and Hunter, both products of British Columbia. So Team Canada. Lifted out into center field. Ezekiel going over in the gap. He'll cut it off and make the catch. And Brian Avery will head back to first base. So Ezekiel getting a little bit of work out here in center field, playing his position right in front of the broadcast booth. We've had a good look at that. So fly out leaves Avery with one out at first base. And we'll bring Ladislao Malarchuk, the fine young Argentine player, to the plate. Malarchuk walked in his first time up. Three walks and a hit turned into 2 runs for the Gremlins in the third. We're in the fourth now. That one in for a called strike, so 0-2 advantage Chapman. Nick Mullins on deck. That one just off the plate, so 1-2 now to Ladislao Malarchuk. Little confab at the mound. Pitcher Chapman, the catcher, Matroni, and I believe Nick Shales having a quick word. Malarchuk still at the plate, 1-2 count. Way outside with that one, so it'll even the count at 2-2. Downstairs, 3-2, I guess, was the count. So Malarchuk with his second walk of the day. Beautiful scoreboard they have here. Unfortunately, we can't see it. It sits right over the top of the center field fence. So Malarchuk aboard with a walk. Nick Mullins at the plate. Avery now at second base with a scoring opportunity for the Gremlins. Ball low to Mullins. That one in for a called strike. I think Mullins lobbying for the dirtiest uniform award on the field. Guess you could put most catchers in that category, but Mullins getting plenty of work in this tournament. And ball 4 issued to Nick Mullins, so 2 consecutive walks. In the third, it was a walk to Ochoa, followed by a walk to Zenon Winters. The end result, 2 runs. Here in the fourth, after Avery reaching on a single, pair of walks to Malarchuk and Mullins, and I think that's going to be all for Daniel Chapman. He gives way. We see Michael Holobradic over on the sideline. Looks like he'll be the reliever as he heads back from the bullpen down towards the dugout. So we'll take a break in the action. Be right back with more great action. Just setting it for you, Avery at third, Malarchuk at second, and Nick Mullins at first. Bases loaded for the Gremlins. A break in the action. We'll be back. So Michael Holobradic, the fine pitcher from the Czech Republic, will come on in relief of Chapman after 2 consecutive walks in the inning, 2 last inning as well. So Jeff Ellsberg and company over in the dugout for Hill United making the move. Holobradic, a great part of the story of the rise of the European teams. 2019, we were fortunate enough to be in Prague, Czech Republic, when the world quite literally came to Europe. And Holobradic pitching his team into the playoff round in that one. I want to say hello to all of our friends in the Czech Republic who played great host to us just 4 years ago. The batter's Matthew Waugh. Waugh struck out and flied to center. 0 for 2 on the day. 1 out in the inning. Gremlins trying to pad that 2-0 lead. That one goes to the screen, but Avery staying put over at third. Not a great distance between home plate and the backstop, so most of the ball's bouncing right back towards the catcher. Really takes one to kick sideways for the runners to have a chance. Swing and a miss by Waugh late on that one on the outside part of the plate. Holobradic, I think, can be considered the ace of that staff back in 2019 for the Czech Republic. Now finds himself pitching on the Hill United team, among the very best in the world. Nibbles outside, but Wah doesn't fish for it, so 1-2 count, advantage Holobratic. Ball up high, so 2-2. Wah with good power pulling the ball. Hit a line shot over the right field fence last week in New York. Never got more than about 8 feet off the ground in that championship game at Peligro. Misses downstairs, and it's a walk in the park. Matthew Wah aboard, third consecutive walk, turns into another run for the Gremlins. Everybody moves up 60 feet. Fifth free pass of the day given up by Hill United pitching staff. Avery checks in with the run. Malarchuk over to third. Mullins to second. And the batter will be Jerome Remaki. Remaki homered and singled, scored 2 of the 3 runs. Big swing, comes up empty. 2 3-run homers for Jerome last week in New York in the semifinal and final. 3-run shot earlier today. I guess you don't have to ask me who the RBI leader for the Gremlins is right now. 9 just in the past 2 Sundays for Jerome. That one's lifted foul, out of play over on the left side. To be fair, Ben Inoka had homers in both of those 2 games as well. But with Ramaki hitting second and Inoka third, nobody left for RBI tally for Inoka. But 2 standouts in that game, in that day for the Gremlins. One, 2 now, pitch from Holobratic. Stays up high, they're leaving the count at 2-2. Gremlins with a golden opportunity to break this game open. Holobratic trying to close it out, get his team back in the dugout and hitting. Keeping the margin right now at 3-0. Down in the dirt, so full count. Holobratic in danger of walking another here. He'll have to come in with something to Remaki. Runners all the way around for the Gremlins. 3-2 pitch to Remaki. Ball 4 high, and yet another. That's 4 in a row now. 2 from Chapman, 2 from Holobratic. Not the result the skipper was looking for, but add another run to the tally for the Gremlins and bringing up Eric Ochoa. So Malarchuk coming in with the 4th run. Mullins over to third. Matthew Wah at second. Jerome Remaki over at first base. And Ochoa at the plate with a chance to add on. Swing and a miss, comes up empty. Hard for the defense to combat the walks. 4 in a row in this inning. 2 last inning, so 6 on the day for Hill United pitchers. Lots of chatter from the dugout on the New York side. We can hear them all the way from here, trying to encourage their teammates. Ochoa right now. Foul tip right back to the screen. Little grounder, it's going to be in the left field just over the reaching glove of Shales. The throw comes into the plate just behind the runner, Matthew Waugh. So Ochoa does what he does so often, goes the other way with it right down the line. High hopper, Shales couldn't reach it. And the Gremlins score again. So Mullins and Waugh scoring on the play. 4 runs in the inning, 6 in the game. Pinch runner coming out to second base. That looks like Gonzalo Masmu, the Argentine player, coming out to run. So that's in place of Raymaki. So again on the play, single to left, Mullins and Matthew Waugh coming in to score. So credit 2 RBI to Eric Ochoa. Zenon Winters stands in now. Zenon 0 for 1, popped up to third, and then walked back in that 2-walk third inning. Foul straight back to the screen. We've talked about it earlier in the tournament with the Gremlins scoring so many runs in the tournament. As a pitcher, it's sort of a trade-off. You want to pitch carefully, but you pitch too carefully and you start putting people on, and then when someone does get a hit, instead of just 1 run coming in, it's 2 or 3. And very quickly you can find yourself looking up at a tall hill. Right now, Hill United looking at a 6-0 margin. Swing and a miss on a good rise ball from Holobratic. One of the great moments in that 2019 WBSC Men's World Championship, we walked into the stadium on opening night. They had these giant scoreboards, ESPN style, and the scoreboard was filled with the face of Michael Holobratic pitching at the time. There's a hard one to second base, makes a great play, flips over to short. Trying to pick up the calls. I think they're calling Ochoa out. But a fine defensive play by second baseman Tony Gonzalez. Diving. Do we have a replay, or did we? Diving for it. Flips it up out of his glove to shortstop Bolin, who's coming across the bag. Let's see how the dust settles on it. The umpires will talk about it. Eric Ochoa still standing on the bag at second, and Zenon Winters standing on the bag at first. Masmu is over to third. He started at second. So Ochoa now coming off the field. So the call was out on the 4-6. Spectacular defensive play by Tony Gonzalez and Shane Bolin. So Winters aboard with the fielder's choice, and it's Cole Evans now, the 9th hitter to come to the plate for the Gremlins here in the 4th. Remember, there was one out before that play by Gonzalez in Bolin, so that would have gotten them out of the inning if they had been able to convert and carry the two. Meanwhile, Cole Evans walking on down to first base. Everybody, well, at this point, it's just Zen and Winters moving to second. Masmu still at third. Bases loaded once again for the Gremlins. And Brian Avery, his second at-bat of this fourth inning. He started this whole thing off with that single to left. Came around to score the third of 6 runs for the Gremlins. Five walks, 2 hits for the Gremlins. 4-run inning thus far. In for a called strike. Avery 1 for 2, lined out to third, so he's hit the ball hard twice. Swing and a miss. Line drive down in the right field corner. Pecker is going over to chase it down. Around the bases they go. Coming in to score is Evans. In front of him, Zen and Winters. So a couple of more for the Gremlins on the single to right field by Brian Avery. Watch the replay. Nice piece of hitting. Got an inside pitch, just went the other way with it. Rattles around in the corner by the time Pecker could pick it up. 2 more runs checking in. It's an 8-0 lead now for the Gremlins.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab your 50-50 raffle tickets. It's time for the 50-50 raffle. If you purchased a blue ticket, you're screwed. Red ticket, 711 97 19.
9-0 Gremlins. Avery winds up at second base on the play, so credit him with a 2-run double. Excuse me, 3-run double. Cleared the bases with that one. At the plate, Blake Hunter. Hunter 0 for 2, strikeout and a fly out to center last time up. Well, painful truth that all pitchers know. If you walk them, they will score. And it's a little bit of what we talked about. If you put the free passes out there, by the time they do get the hits, they come in bunches. If you're thinking about the run rule right now, it's 7 after 5, but 12 after 3 and 10 after 4. We are in the fourth. 9-0 Gremlins. So run number 10, potentially anyway. Brian Avery out at second base. But Holobratic gets the strikeout, gets his team back into the dugout. Down on strikes goes Blake Hunter. For the Gremlins, they grab a handful, 7 runs in the inning, sending 11 men to the plate. Eric Ochoa with a big 2-run double. And Brian Hunter with a 2-run double as well. So Jack Besgrove sitting on a 9-0 lead as we head to the 5th. If you're a Hill United fan, 6, 7, 8, that's Gonzalez, Pecker, and Patterson. We'll be back with more great action here from the Boys of Summer Tournament. Top of the fifth inning here in the championship game. Tony Gonzalez will be followed by Alan Pecker and Scott Patterson. Gremlins currently on a 15 consecutive win streak after losing their first game of the season. If you're wondering who beat them, it was Bear Creek Express in that opener. Beat the Gremlins 3-1. The Gremlins came back in the very same tournament and returned the favor, beating Bear Creek and eliminating them from the tournament with a 3-1 win. Bear Creek, as we mentioned, number 3 in the preseason rankings. The Gremlins 1, and these Hill United Chiefs at 4. So the Gremlins certainly making their case to hold on to the number 1 spot when the new rankings come out tomorrow. High pop fly, it'll be Ladislao. Malarchuk going over by the fence in foul territory to make the catch, and 1 out recorded.
Right fielder, number 59, Alan Pecker.
Here's Alan Pecker coming on with 1 out in the 5th. Swing and a miss, comes up empty. So the run rule that is potentially in play would be 7 after 5, this being the 5th inning, 5th at bat for the Hill United team. Bestgrove working on a shutout right now, 9 strikeouts through the first 4 1/3 innings. Strike 3 called. Down goes Pecker for the 2nd out of the inning. Turn that K backwards, 2 outs. And Scott Patterson will come to the plate. Patterson caught looking in his first and only trip against Bestgrove. This just the 2nd time through the batting order for Hill United. Swing and a miss by Patterson. Papilio Lopez will be next. Little late swing foul tip on that one. 0-2. Bestgrove trying to close it out. Strike 3 called. Down goes Lopez. And we'll wait for the call, but I believe that's official. 5 innings. Final score, New York Gremlins 9, Hill United Chiefs nothing. Jack Bestgrove, the winning pitcher. 9 strikeouts on the day. Outstanding performance by the young left-hander. And the freight train that is the New York Gremlins continues to roll. 16 straight wins. After dropping their first game of the season. They won 5 in a row to win the Chiefs Challenge in the first week. They won 5 in a row to win the Peligro Cup, and now have a 3rd trophy to take home in as many efforts, winning 6 games here in Denmark for the Boys of Summer Championship. So congratulations to the New York Gremlins, also to the Hill United Chiefs for reaching this championship game, and all the other great teams, all 16 teams that were here for this 2023 version. You've been watching the Gremlins Network. I'm Jim Flanagan. Hope you've enjoyed all of the live action that we've brought to you. We tip our cap, of course, to the man doing all the heavy lifting, Luciano Lofrano. He is responsible for the streaming operation, behind all the controls, and with big assists from his wife, Carol, doing some of the camera work and other help in the streaming department. And our thanks to Greg Leather and Greg Hicks, the brain trust of the New York Gremlins, Varn Martosian, for making the streaming operation possible here and giving us a chance to bring the live action fastball to all of you. We're going to sign off from Denmark, Wisconsin. We'll go join the Gremlins and see how the celebration unfolds. Right now on the field, I think we'll keep the camera rolling and let you look at the award ceremony. We'll go silent, let you enjoy it. Somebody's going to need to buy an extra plane ticket to get that big trophy home. It's a beast of a trophy. Thanks again for watching. So long.
All the deans out there handing out the trophies. No relation. And now the presentation of the first place trophy to the New York Gremlins. That's a big one, folks. And now it's time to reveal the all-tournament team in memory and honor of Dan Buddha Huss. If you are indeed here, and your name is called, please come out to the pitcher's mound and grab your trophy. It's the first time in 10 years at least that Dan Buddha Huss has not been able to do the all-tournament team. And that's the reason why we're doing it today in memory and honor of Dan Buddha Huss. All right, your all-tournament team is as follows. In the outfield, from Hill United, Brad Ezekiel. From AWP in the outfield, Valdy Turkelson. From Circle Tap in the outfield, Tyler Johnson. All-tournament team infield, from Kegel, Zach Shaw. All-tournament infield, from Hill United, Shane Bolin. All-tournament infield the tournament, from the Gremlins, Jack Vestro. And the 2023 Boys of Summer Tournament MVP, from the Gremlins, Jerome Ramaki. Congratulations, everybody. It was a great tournament. We'll see everybody in about a month, August 12th through the 19th, right here at CT for the World Tournament.